So I'm Carmen Pizarro. I'm a New York-based illustrator. I've been working since I graduated from college from the School of Visual Arts, and I've worked on a couple of comics, stuff for Verizon, Comedy Central. So I've done like a little bit of everything, and then I've done like a few editorial pieces for some magazines. I start off working traditionally. Like I sketch out like everything like traditionally, and then I work in ink. So I use like my Series 7 like brush and use like India ink, and then I scan everything, and then I color digitally. I'm Mexican and Chilean, so that theme definitely goes through like my illustrations. Um, I've always had a really strong like women figures in my life, so that definitely like comes through my artwork. And I always try to do artwork that like kind of embodies like stuff that I aspire to be. So it's always like very like cool fashion and like strong women and like very like bold design, and like it transfers to that. I grew up in Vegas, so that was like a big influence into like me growing up, and it kind of translated through my artwork. So I love drawing like kind of like homages to like vintage pinup girls, to like the West and like the desert and stuff. So for sure, that definitely like translates over to like kind of like what attributes to my work. During the pandemic, it's definitely like made me go like head first into like diving into like projects and stuff. So I am a lot better and like more sound of mind when it comes to like having a project and like being able to like work on it and kind of like focus on, instead of like being like idle, I guess. It's definitely like I feel like I start to like go into like crazy like manic mode, and like I was like I need to do something. So I've definitely been working on a lot more projects, and just like kind of like, even if it's not like anything serious, it's like something like from like sketching to doodling. It just helps out with like me kind of like processing like what's happening right now. I definitely think it has a positive effect on me, because I'm able to communicate with like my friends and stuff like that with like video chat. I celebrated my friend's birthday, who had passed like during like the pandemic, and then like I was able to hang out with like some of my friends like over like video games and stuff like that. And then I've been using a lot of like Discord chats and stuff, just to kind of keep in the community and like have that like sense of like hanging out with friends, but like also like we have like our lives and stuff. So it's nice to connect with people. Some of my zines would probably be like a good introduction of like kind of like how I feel, and like how I am like as an artist. It's like where I experiment the most with like my artwork, and it's like more of like personal work. As for some of my illustrations on like my website, and like my like more professional work is like more um, harder to like conceptualize if you don't know like the story behind it. Been working on a comic with my partner. It's still in the works. It's still like very like baby stages. I plan to like get it finished and release. I want to say October, November is what I'm aiming for. So it's just like something that like has been like helping me out like working on it. I've had this idea for a while. Um, with my partner, he was the one that wrote it, and then I was the one that like kind of like penciled it, inked it, and then like illustrated it. And so it's my first horror comic that we are coming up with, and like this is kind of like a mock-up of what it's going to look like. This is just me like planning it out and stuff, just to kind of see of what it's going to look like. It's a lot easier for me as a illustrator and like working traditionally to kind of see like a physical copy. So like as you can see, it's like binder clipped and stuff. But like it's going to be a 40-page comic, which is the longest and technically the first comic I've ever made. Like I've made zines before that have like a bit of a storyline, but nothing like what you would consider like a comic. So this is like one of my bigger projects that I've had, but it's been really fun to like work on it. Well, a lot of my friends have been like working on like graphic novels and like comics, and it's always been something that I've wanted to like get into since college. I took a couple comic courses on like inking and stuff when I was in college, but it never progressed further than that. And now that I have this like allotted time for myself, I thought it would be like the perfect time to kind of be able to have enough time and like um, what is it, dedication to like pour into this project, especially because it's going to be like untreaded water, so to say. Especially because like I face like a whole like new range of like problems that I gotta solve. As for like, I don't really like I work with lettering, but like not in lettering in the sense of like comics and like formatting and stuff and like panels. So I've definitely been like delving into that and like learning more about it, and like especially during like quarantine and stuff. Um, I've been reading a lot more comics and like graphic novels and stuff to kind of preoccupy my time. So it's definitely been something to like more to get more involved into like storytelling. I've definitely read Are You Listening by Tilly Walden, I believe. And then Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me is another one. It's mostly for second books that I've been like reading, but like they're really thick, so like it like takes me a little while to like get through them, especially like me going back and like revisiting pages that like inspire me and stuff. Um, and then how art is like affecting us currently. I believe it's like an outlet for us to kind of like escape from. Like it's definitely something to kind of like distract us from like the current state of things, and like kind of like delve back into like, I don't know, like a kind of like a childlike sense of like when you're like reading books and like enjoying like cartoons and stuff. It's definitely helps like a lot of people like kind of like process like what's going on right now, and it's also could be a political tool because like a lot of people have been like using artwork to like uplift voices and express themselves, and it really gets the point across just like so many people when you have such like a powerful image to like convey.